What is up, guys? Fans here. Today we are back on floor 82 for a viewer request video. Basically, a few people have a few floors that they need to clear, but I didn't cover on my ToA hardest floors. So we're back on 82. And this floor is basically just it might be a little bit hard because of counterattacks. I can kind of see that. It's going to be very similar to the Archangel floor. For this floor, I will try to I'll use like Shannon Bernard or something. I'll go with the standard team. How about that? Like I'll just go with the standard team, and yeah, this way it's easier for like majority of the people to do it. I'll just use this team because this team is really easy to make, and this team can clear like pretty much every single floor of ToA. So actually, for the first two parts, I'm gonna like auto through, and yeah, for those that aren't familiar, this team is really strong because Shannon Bernard. Shannon has the slow debuff. Bernard has the speed buff, which gives you like a really nice turn advantage. You can like get a lot more turns before the enemy does. And then you have Beretta for dots. So when you're on higher floors, you don't have to have any sort of damage. You can just completely rely on dots to clear the floor. Veramos basically is here to provide the AoE stun. You can always replace Veramos with any Despair Stun or any type of other AoE monster as well. But Veramos is really useful because he has more utility than just that. He can dot with his first skill. So if you kind of want to focus down someone really fast, you can have Veramos keep attacking that target. Veramos also has his passive, of course, which can remove debuffs, so you don't need to bring anyone that that needs to remove debuffs. You can just bring Veramos, and it will work for a lot of the floors, like floors with bombers, floors with tons of dots or anti-healing debuff. Veramos can take care of that. And then Beldon, of course, is like the best farmable healer, pretty much. Pretty sure no one will argue with me there. So yeah, this makes the standard team. And we're just gonna auto through the first two parts, and then I'll manual the boss level. Shannon also has the defense buff. Defense buff is very useful, especially on higher floors of ToA. And this is especially true in ToA hard as well. Defense buff is really nice. Your units can take a lot more damage if they have the defense buff on. You also the debuffs that are most useful in ToA are glancing hit, slow, and attack debuff. If you have those on the target, you're gonna have a lot more like advantage against them because they're gonna be doing a lot less damage, and they're gonna be glancing a lot because of glancing hit. And if you have any attack bar fill monster, I have two right here, and I have speed buff on Bernard, of course. I can get a lot of like turn advantage against the enemy. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus the Yetis first. I don't want the Yetis to buff up. So right here, I think CC is the most important thing. Oh my god, I just missed. Okay, this is going to suck a bit. I'm gonna actually try to Despair Stun one of them if possible. I'm gonna attack debuff him. Oh shit, he's gonna hurt. Alright, they got attack buff, they got counter attack buff, but I do have Belladon that I can use to remove. Belladon also has this little utility as well. This comes in handy like in some floors, but most of the time it's not going to be that useful. But right here it's very useful. So I'm going to try to seize and remove that. Nice. Alright, now he doesn't have any chance to counterattack. This guy doesn't have his counterattack buffed up, but he does have the attack and defense buff, which is actually fine because I'm not looking to burst him down or anything. I'm just gonna try to keep him CC'd as much as possible. So now next turn they might get a turn if I fail to stun them or anything. So I'm gonna defense buff up just in case. I'm gonna have Veramos keep stacking dots on this guy, and I do plan to kill him first. So Shannon, I think, isn't going to attack me too hard. The Yeti probably will do a little bit more damage than Shannon. So I'm going to attack bar decrease the Yeti, and I'm going to glancing hit the Shannon. All right, there we go. Let's remove her buffs since she's attacking next. All right, it didn't work, which is fine because I still have my defense buff on, and Shannon did barely any damage because, well, she's Shannon. And now this one's stunned. I'm not sure if I can keep stun him again, but I'm gonna just attack the one that is not stunned. So I'm gonna put attack debuff on Shannon because she obviously still has the attack buff on her. So this kind of cancels out the attack buff. I'm gonna keep stacking dots. I'm not gonna use my AOE stun because these two are already stunned. Shannon's attack bar is very, very low. So I'm going to wait for one of them to wake up before I use my stun again. Now, my Beretta has Despair Rune, so I'm going to attack Shannon once. And then now I'm going to slow them down again, so I can get more turn advantage. And what I plan to do actually is to kill this Yeti first and not kill Shannon. So I'm going to just, keep putting more damage on him. Maybe I should stun soon. I think I should stun soon. But I might be able to get another turn before they do. So let's try to remove the buffs on this Shannon. She still has glancing hit on her, so I'm going to put glancing hit on the Yeti. And now I'm going to stun with Veramos. Right now she's stunned, which is really nice for me. And her attack debuff's gone. He still has attack buff, and his attack bar is full, so he's going next. So I'm going to put attack debuff on him. And yeah, let's attack bar decrease. Actually, if I wanted to rush it, I probably wouldn't have attack bar decrease, but just to be safe, I did use attack bar decrease. And I'm gonna buff up with attack and defense buff again. And now we're gonna just keep working on this Yeti. And just one more dot, and he's pretty much dead. I'm gonna use the AOE stun, stack the AOE dots, and at this point, you pretty much win the fight. So this level is well, the strategy I used against this level is I utilize my debuffs and buffs. I buffed up at the right times, and I have a good balance of CC, debuffs, heals, and dots to take down my enemies. So between attack debuff, glancing hit, and defense buff, they can't really do any damage to my team, even if I fail to stun them. And if I do stun them, then they're going to be doing 0 damage. So it's really important to CC, of course, because they do have very annoying counterattack. But if you have Bella, C's will really just take care of the Yetis because you can just seize their debuffs. And if you stun them while they're buffed up, they can't counterattack anyway since they're stunned. So that concludes 82. The next floor the floor that someone requested is 83 over here. This one I would say is slightly harder because of they're really annoying. This change on the Vikings. I never really paid attention to this change, but it seems pretty cool. Basically steals one beneficial effect all the time. Interesting. All right. Let's for this floor, I could use Shannon Bernard, but it's not really ideal because of the element. He is this is mostly fire, and if you use Shannon Bernard against fire floors and you're trying to land debuffs, half of those debuffs aren't going to land because of the elemental disadvantage. So instead of these two, well, actually instead of Shannon, I'm actually going to use a different slow monster to get myself that turn advantage, and yeah, and I think this should work. Pretty much, I'm going to use Spectra for attack bar decrease. I could also use who else could I use? Could also use McKean and single target CC them really well. Shannon will still work if your Shannon is really strong, but I'm not sure what I should show for the sake of this video. Should I use Spectra or Shannon? Or I'll use Spectra because you guys already know the strategy if I'm gonna use Shannon. I'm gonna use Spectra, and I'm going to actually, instead of Bernard, I'm gonna not use turn advantage this time. I'm gonna just have Spectra for the slow and attack bar decrease turn advantage. I'm gonna use Talc. So I'm gonna stack 2 healers against this level. because I don't really want them to steal my speed buff. And if they steal my defense buff, it's actually not too bad because I don't rely on attack to do damage. I rely on dots to do damage, so it doesn't really matter. All right, let's try this. Let's try this floor. The Vikings and the Barbarian King can all steal my damage. And this actually makes a really strong auto team as well. You have like one monster that provides you some sort of turn advantage, two healers, one with defense buff, and then Veramos, of course, for the stun, the remove, all that good stuff, and dots, and Bretta for dots and attack bar decrease to help you clear the floor faster. So the really good thing about Spectra is his slow, although he is fire element, his slow doesn't do any damage. What that means is it doesn't have a chance to glance. So even if you're using Spectra against the water element, he won't glance on his slow skill. So basically, the slow and attack bar decrease either won't activate or they just simply won't get resisted or something like that. There's no chance of glancing, so he's not weak against any element. Spectra is also really useful in higher floors of ToA and on boss floors because his second skill does a lot of damage to bosses and monsters with really high HP. And Talc is here, of course, because Talc is like super strong healer. He is very useful for ToA. He has the provoke, which is like really useful on boss floors because bosses are immune to stuns and freezes, so you can't really CC them. So provoke is pretty much the best form of CC against bosses. And then you can kind of use deny bosses that have really strong third skills, like from ever using their third skill, if you just use Talc with Bretta, because you can just have Talc, use provoke on the boss every single turn, and then whenever he misses or the skill doesn't activate because it's an 80% chance, you can use Bretta to decrease the attack bar of the boss, and this way you can deny the boss from ever using their third skill or something like that. Alright, so the first two levels of this level isn't too hard. It's actually quite simple. Nothing too complicated. Just gonna slow them down, stack some dots, and pretty much GG. They can't really do much damage to me because I do have two healers and I have Talc with a defense buff. So, even if they try, I'm just gonna heal back up. This is probably one of the safest teams to use in ToA. If you're planning to auto, it's really nice to use Talc along with Bella. Oh crap. This sucks. Alright, my skills are on cooldown, so I'm just gonna turbulence one of them, and I think they're gonna steal my buffs, which is actually fine. Wait, no, let me think. Should I let them attack me once before I use this as a heal? Yeah, let's let them attack me once. I'm going to provoke one of the fire ones. Okay, they resisted. Okay, this is really bad. My Beretta might die. Okay, I regret not buffing up with my Talc. That was a horrible mistake. Alright, here we go. This way my Beretta might be safer. He just stole the defense buff. And armor broke my Beretta. I think I brought the wrong team for this floor. Alright, this strategy definitely is not the best one. This is a horrible strategy. Holy shit, what the hell am I thinking? Well, there goes my Beretta. I think I know the strategy to beat this floor. You need stronger CC. That's pretty much it. Instead of Instead of relying on defense buff and tanking, I think it's better to go with CC. So I'm just gonna keep trying to provoke them. I'm gonna, yeah, that one's dead. Like, he has a ton of debuffs on him. I still have a lot of stuns in CC, so it's fine. Like, I've between my Veramos and Talc, and Spectra's slow attack bar decrease and stuff, I think I have enough like CC to still beat these four. So that was a horrible idea. Maybe instead of bringing like Bella or something, I could even take out like Talc for. Actually, no, Talc has really nice CC with his provoke. But Bella provides no CC, so I probably should have taken out Bella and put in another one of my Despair Stunners or something like that. This way I can keep them all stunned and kind of rely on that to beat them. That was a horrible, horrible idea. Alright, I do fail sometimes, and I am pretty dumb. I think I'll try this floor again with a better team. And I think this clear is pretty much done. I can still kill them with 4 units. They only have 3 units left. I just need to like stun them a bit, and then eventually I'll kill these two and the boss. Yeah, let's try again with a different team. This was probably a really bad tutorial. Don't try this at home, kids. So you might have, if you're doing ToA, you might have 2 monsters that can Despair Stun. I have Zinc. I have what's his name, Eridas. I also have Draco on Despair. I have Shannon on Despair, but she's Wind, so it's not really like that useful to use Shannon. So this time I'm gonna use Zinc. All right, I'm gonna use Zinc. Anyone will work, like any of your Despair Stunner units. Anyone on Despair will work. You don't have to use Zinc, as long as they're not Wind. Well, you know, if I had a really strong Shannon, like I could throw in my Shannon, it would work. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna use Zinc, and yeah, this should be enough CC to get me through this. So yep, Zinc is really nice for ToA because he not only has 2 AoE skills, but his 3rd AoE skill has an attack power decrease. So you can it's like the attack debuff. Yeah, you can put on the enemy, and it's an AoE one, so you can like, you know, reduce their damage and shit. I suddenly couldn't talk for a second. I don't know why. I think I'm just like tired or some shit. Yeah, whatever. But he's really nice because his first skill already has a stun built into it. So whenever his 3rd and 2nd skills are on CD, you can try to use his first skill and Despair Stun to try to stun another unit. He also has armor break, so when you're trying to burst down units like in an AoE, he can kind of help with that too because of his AoE armor break. But like they recently buffed him. I think like last patch, not this patch. This is the new patch. But last patch they buffed the monsters. Like they buffed the living armors, the light and dark ones. They reduced the cooldowns of their 3rd skill by 1 turn. So it's like 4 turn cooldown now. It used to be 5 turns. It was already pretty strong when it was 5 turns, but now that it's on 4 turns, it's a lot stronger. So the strategy here is I'm just going to use my Talc to keep provoking every turn. I'm going to have Spectra keep using the slow and attack bar decrease. And then I'm going to have my Veramos and Zinc just try to, you know, CC all the, like, every single one of them. And my Beretta also has Despair Stun. So that fight just now probably turned out pretty bad because I had my skills on cooldown before I entered the level. I really can't talk today. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, at least I still have my 3rd skill and my stun, so this is GG for them. I'm gonna work my way from left to right. I'm going to try to despair stun this guy. And I can't really afford to use defense buff now because my Talc's my only healer. So I'm going to try to provoke them. Try to use this AoE, see if who I can stun. Alright, nice. Triple despair proc. Since this guy's armor broken, let's hit him. Now I have despair stuns with my Berta on my 3rd skill. And I'm going to try to provoke. And now I'm going to try to single target stun with my Zinc. Okay. Might not work out the best. Yeah, I think CC is the way to go. You just have like tons of CC. There's pretty much nothing they can do against you. So I'm going to provoke this guy because his attack bar is full. He's going to be going next. And since this guy's already pretty low, I'm going to just focus him down. Put attack debuff. So even if they attack, it won't like do too much damage. I'm going to attack bar decrease this guy with the highest attack bar. And I'm just going to keep working on this guy. He's gonna die first. His attack bar is also the fullest, so I'm gonna try to provoke him. Okay, that kind of hurt a bit, but attack debuff did help me quite a bit, so they won't be doing too much damage to my Spectra. The really good thing about Spectra on this level is that I'm also like sometimes some of them can resist the attack bar decrease, so I can kind of make their attack bars uneven, so they won't all go at the same time. So I might be able to like fit my heal in between whenever they attack, or if they armor break, my Vermals might get a turn in between and then remove the armor break, which is really nice as well. So that's pretty much GG for them. I have them full CC'd, attack debuff, and like tons of dots and slow and attack bar decrease on them at all times. There's nothing really they can do. I'm just gonna, keep working on my stuns, keep attack bar decreasing them, and then just build up some damage. Provoke whoever has the highest attack bar. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I need one more dot to kill this guy. And then despair stun. Okay, didn't work. Stun. And provoke. And this guy's going to die from dots. Despair stun this guy because he has the highest attack bar. Slow them down, decrease their attack bar, stack some more dots. And now he has 3 dots. I'm going to use my AoE despair stun again. He's going to die next turn. Stack even more dots. This guy's dotted up. So now we focus on the Barbarian King, and then yeah, this is over. So yeah, the way to get through 83, I would say CC is the best way, because you really don't want them to get a turn. Also, attack bar decrease is really nice. So if you can have some sort of attack bar decrease, and it can kind of stop them from all going at the same turn. Because armor break is really scary. If they all go at the same turn while one of your units are armor broken, that unit could die really easily. You could also fit in a reviver somewhere, like if someone dies you could revive them and the next turn they don't have armor break. That's also a strategy that could work. But I would say the strategy that would work for most people is just to have tons of CC and stun them. Maybe just have 2 stunners, have a healer that can provide some sort of CC. Talc is really nice for his provoke. Before I had Talc, I used to use Konamiya quite a lot because Konamiya has stun on his first skill. But if you don't have anything else, you could always still just use Bella. You might get hit a little bit more, but it should be fine, as long as your units are tanky enough. So that's pretty much it for 83. And these 2 floors are the floors that I decided to do for viewer requests because people requested them. So that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys next time on my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.